Hello students, welcome to BioSmart Academy. Okay, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the second part of the plasma membrane. Yesterday's lectures, I discussed briefly about the plasma membrane and I taught in yesterday's lecture some of the important topics which are very much important from CSI net point of view. Okay, so today's lecture will be the second part of the plasma membrane and we will cover today the second part. Okay, and before I start this lecture, I want to share you that please subscribe BioSmart Academy and please share this channel as much as possible. Okay, because this BioSmart Academy channel provides you free online lectures and all the lectures are strictly according to the CSI net syllabus, and within the 6 month within 6 month you will be in a position to crack any of this examination. Okay, and you get daily lectures from this YouTube channel, and every lecture is very important from CSI net point of view. So please subscribe BioSmart Academy and share this YouTube channel to all those who are preparing for all this examination. Okay, so this is about BioSmart Academy YouTube channel. Please subscribe it. Now let's start the lecture. So yesterday I already taught you that plasma membrane, that is PM, its main composition, what, the basically protein and lipid. Okay, basically protein one and second is lipid. Okay, these two component are the major component in the plasma membrane. Okay, yesterday's lecture I already taught you in this uh, two things. Okay, and out of this protein and lipid, I start lipid to teach you. Okay, and lipid has three major lipid basically, that is phospholipid, okay, phospholipid, glycolipid and sterol. So these are the three major lipid, and I already started the lipid portion of the plasma membrane in brief, and I already completed phospholipid in yesterday's lecture. Okay, phospholipid in yesterday's lecture. Okay, so today we are going to discuss briefly about the glycolipids and sterol, and with this we are going to complete the lipid portion of the plasma membrane, which is very important from examination point of view. Okay, and from tomorrow we are going to cover the protein portion of the plasma membrane. Okay, so this is the in brief I discuss again with you so that you don't get confused why I start with glycolipid. Okay, see, so today we are going to discuss first glycolipid. Okay, see, what are glycolipids? Glyco means what? Glyco means a carbohydrate part, and a carbohydrate part. Okay, a carbohydrate part. Glyco means a carbohydrate part. Okay, and this carbohydrate part either be monosaccharide or be oligosaccharide. Okay, either monosaccharide or oligosaccharide. Clear? And when this glyco is covalently bonded with lipid, then it forms glycolipid. Okay, covalently attached to a lipid, then it is known as glycolipid. Okay, so glyco is the carbohydrate part which may be either monosaccharide and oligosaccharide, and when this glyco is covalently attached to the lipid portion, then it is known as glycolipid. Clear? Okay, and this glycolipid can be derived from either glycerol, okay, glycerol and sphingosine. Okay, what are these glycerol and sphingosine? I discussed briefly in yesterday's lecture. Please go and watch that lecture. Okay, and the glycosphingolipid is the most important. Okay, glycosphingolipid is the most important type of glycolipid that constitute third major type of membrane lipid, Okay, glycosphingolipid is the most important type of glycolipid. Okay, clear? Now Now we should look at now the examples. Okay, now question may be asked from this point that name one simplest glycolipid. Okay, so simplest glycolipid is basically what? Cerebroside. Why cerebroside is simplest glycolipid? Cerebroside is the simplest glycolipid because it is made up of monosaccharide. Okay, because it is basically made up of what? Monosaccharide. It is basically made up of monosaccharide. Okay, that is consist of single sugar residue, that is consist of single sugar residue. Either it made up of glucose or it is made up of galactose. Okay, and that are linked to ceramide. Okay, and that are all linked with this ceramide, that are linked to ceramide. Okay, clear? So simplest glycolipid is cerebroside. Why cerebroside? Because it made up of monosaccharide. Okay, monosaccharide, and it consists of single sugar residue. It may be either glucose or either galactose, which is linked to ceramide, linked to ceramide. Next, now more complex than cerebroside. Give an example. The example will be globoside. Globoside is basically the more complex than the more complex than the cerebroside, but not the most complex one. Okay, and globoside is basically contain oligosaccharide that link to ceramide. Clear? Oligosaccharide. Okay, and the third one is the most important, that is ganglioside. Okay, what is ganglioside? Ganglioside are more complex than both cerebroside and globoside. Okay, both cerebroside and globoside, and it basically contain a branched chain of 7 sugar residue. Branching. Okay, branch chain is basically contain a branch chain. So these are the mainly the example of glycolipids. Most simplest is cerebroside, more complex than cerebroside is globoside, and the most complex one is the ganglioside. Okay, it is the most complex glycolipid. Clear? Now where these glycolipids are found? These glycolipids are basically found exclusively. Okay, please remember this point. This point is very important from examination point of view. So these glycolipids are exclusively found in the outer leaflet of the plasma membrane. Okay, in the outer leaflet. Suppose this is the plasma membrane, and in this plasma membrane these glycolipids are found. Okay, and its carbohydrate portion, this is the suppose carbohydrate portion is exposed outside of this cell surface. Oh, see, this is like this. Okay, so this is about the glycolipids location, exclusively found on the outer leaflet of the plasma membrane with their carbohydrate portion exposed on the cell surface. Clear? Now next moves to steroid. Okay, so what are steroids? Steroids are basically made up of steroid nucleus. Okay, steroid are basically made up of steroid nucleus, which consists of 4 fused ring. Okay, consist of how many fused ring? 4 fused ring. And out of 4 fused rings, okay, out of 4 fused rings, 6 are 3 with 6 carbon and 1 with 5 carbon. Okay, so basically simple, what are steroid? Steroid are made up of steroid nucleus, which consists of 4 fused ring, and out of 4 fused ring, 3 with 6 carbons. Okay, 3 with 6 carbons and 1 with 5 carbon. Clear? And 1 with 5 carbon, 1 with 5 carbon and 3 with 6 carbon, consist of 4 ring made up of steroid nucleus. Clear? Now give an example of steroid. The best example of steroid is cholesterol. Okay, cholesterol is the major steroid which is found exclusively in the plasma membrane of animal cell. Okay, so cholesterol is basically exclusively found in animal cells, while if we look at the plant cell, then they lack cholesterol, but in place of cholesterol they have stigmasterol and cytosterol. In place of cholesterol they have stigmasterol and cytosterol. Okay, so question may be asked in the examination, that what are the steroid present in plant? So the answer will be stigmasterol and cytosterol. Okay, so in place of cholesterol in plant, stigmasterol and cytosterol is present. Okay, and what about bacteria? Bacteria basically in bacteria totally absent. Cholesterol is totally absent. Okay, totally absent. Okay, except it is a great example, except mycoplasma. Just remember this point. In bacteria, cholesterol is present only in mycoplasm, okay. In bacteria, cholesterol is present only in mycoplasm, and apart from mycoplasm, cholesterol is totally absent in bacteria, totally absent in bacteria. So this is about the steroid, okay. So with this we have completed the lipid portion of the plasma membrane, okay. I already explained you that plasma membrane is majorly contain protein. One is protein, okay, protein, and one is lipid, and one second is lipid. Majorly contain protein and lipid, and out of lipid it is basically three type, okay. One is out of lipid, it is basically three type. One is phospholipid, one is phospholipid, okay. One is phospholipid, one is glycolipid, and another one is sterol. And out of this I already completed phospholipid in yesterday's class. Please go and watch that lecture, it will be provided on description link. And today I completed already glycolipid and sterol, so the lipid portion is completed. Okay, now let's move to another interesting topic, that is lipid raft. So what is lipid raft? So basically lipids are basically not randomly mixed, okay, not randomly mixed, okay, in each leaflet of the bilayer, okay. In each leaflet of the bilayer, they are not going to be randomly mixed, okay. So what are lipid raft? In plasma membrane, if we look at the plasma membrane structure, there are certain lipids, okay. There are certain lipids which are basically aggregate, okay, like this, which are basically aggregate, okay. There are certain lipids which are basically aggregate, okay. There are certain lipids which are basically aggregate, particularly cholesterol and glycosphingolipids, and they are known as lipid raft. It was mentioned in red, okay. It's very important, okay. So what are lipid raft? Basically there are certain lipids which are not randomly mixed, okay. They are aggregate, particularly aggregate, and these lipids are basically cholesterol and glycosphingolipids, okay. So these are known as lipid raft. See, this point is very important. Lipid rafts are basically membrane microdomain. Okay, what is lipid raft? Lipid rafts are basically membrane microdomain which are enriched with cholesterol and glycosphingolipid. Okay, so question may be asked in the examination that lipid rafts are basically consist of what? So basically lipid rafts are consist of cholesterol and glycosphingolipids, okay. Cholesterol and glycosphingolipids lipid rafts are consist of, and this microdomain are basically contain specific proteins, okay. Please remember these 2 points. Now next point is that it is of two types. Lipid raft is of two types. One is planar, or you can say that non-caveoli, and one is caveoli, okay. So what is planar or non-caveoli? So planar lipid raft is basically just being continuous with the plasma membrane, okay. It was not invaginated means if you look at the structure of the plasma membrane, okay, the planar lipid raft, it basically remain in a continuous manner. It is not invaginated like this, okay. So this is planar, okay. Now what is caveoli? Caveoli are basically the flagged shaped invagination of the plasma membrane that contain caveolin protein, okay. Caveoli contain caveolin protein. I will discuss this caveoli in future discussion, where I discuss this in very brief way, okay. This was very important point, but till now you remember this, that caveoli contain caveolin protein. Caveoli contain caveoli contain caveolin protein, okay. Caveoli contain caveoli protein, and this basically got invagination of the plasma membrane, that is invaginated. And caveolin, this point is a most important point. Please remember, question will be asked from this point. Caveolin, basically what caveolin is, basically an intrinsic membrane protein. Okay, caveolin is intrinsic membrane protein, as well as it is cholesterol binding protein, as well as cholesterol binding protein. I will discuss caveolin in details in future lectures on cell biology, and on that lectures you will came to know about more and more things about the caveolin. Okay, but for today only, you just remember that caveolin is an intrinsic membrane protein. Very, very important. It is an intrinsic membrane protein, and it is a cholesterol binding protein as well. It is a cholesterol binding protein as well. So please remember these 2 points. Okay, intrinsic membrane protein as well as it is a cholesterol binding protein. Clear? And what are the functions of lipid raft? It is basically diverse as signal transduction, endocytosis, as well as cholesterol trafficking. Okay, endocytosis means it basically done by caveolin mediated proteins. Okay, I will discuss in briefly on future lectures. Okay, now next. Now there may be one question that why the lipid bilayer show asymmetry? Asymmetry. Why? So the answer of their asymmetrical distribution is still not there. Okay, till the research is going on, but asymmetry is occur. How it can be discussed in today's lecture. Okay, see the phospholipids, that is the amine containing phospholipids. What are the example of amine containing phospholipid? That is phosphatidylserine and phosphatidylethanolamine. I will discuss already in previous lectures today. Okay, sorry, in already in the previous lecture yesterday. Okay, that is amine containing phospholipid are basically what? Phosphatidylethanolamine and phosphatidylserine. These are amine containing phospholipid, and this amine containing phospholipid are present on the cytoplasmic surface. Okay, present on the cytoplasmic surface. Remember this one. While the choline containing phospholipid, what are choline containing phospholipid? That is phosphatidylcholine and sphingomyelin. And choline containing phospholipid are basically present on the outer surface of the plasma membrane. Okay, and because of this, that amine containing phospholipid are present on the cytosol, while the choline containing present on the outer surface. Because of this, the lipid bilayer is basically asymmetrical in nature. And because of this asymmetrical, it maintain the essential function of the plasma membrane. It maintain the essential functions or normal function of the plasma membrane. Okay, there is one reason that why the amine containing phospholipids are present on the cytosolic membrane. Okay, as I already in yesterday's lecture I discussed that during the net charge, that is when the charge at pH 7. Okay, when the charge at pH 7, the phosphatidylserine and phosphatidylinositol, okay, these are basically what? Amine containing amino acid present on the cytosolic part. Okay, this contain negative charge. Okay, negative charge, this contain negative charge. And because of this the amine containing phospholipid are basically present on the cytosolic phase of the protein. Okay, because in cytosolic phase of the protein there is a single transmembrane segment, okay, which is basically a positively charged, that is lysine and arginine. Okay, so due to this may be present. Okay, and this rule is known as inside positive rule. What? Inside positive rule. So this is the reason behind that amine containing phospholipids are present on the cytosolic phase. If you don't understand anything from this lecture today, then you may comment on the comment box. Okay, see, till now we discuss about the asymmetry of the lipid bilayer. Okay, and we study that amine containing phospholipids, that is phosphatidylethanolamine and phosphatidylserine, are present on the cytoplasmic leaflet because phosphatidylethanolamine and phosphatidylserine have negative charge at net pH 7. Okay, and we also study that choline containing phospholipid are present on the exoplasmic surface. But there is another phospholipid which is basically cholesterol. Unlike particular phospholipid, unlike all this phospholipid, there is a sterol, that is cholesterol. Sorry, there is a sterol. Okay, that is cholesterol. It is not a, yeah. So this is a sterol, that is cholesterol. It is evenly distributed in both leaflet of the cellular membrane. Both leaflet, it is evenly distributed. Okay, so this is for today's lecture only, but I want to explain with a graphical representation about the distribution of the plasma membrane. Okay, that is phospholipid. Okay, see, if I draw, this is a graph. Okay, if I draw this, okay, and if I draw this plasma membrane, this is PM, that is plasma membrane. Okay, okay, this is plasma membrane. Okay, and plasma membrane, and this is this cytoplasmic part. This is this cytoplasmic part, and this is the extracellular part. Okay, this is the extracellular part. Okay, this is the okay, I done it with different color. This is the plasma membrane. Okay, and this is the cytoplasmic part. Okay, this is a cytoplasmic part. Okay, this is a cytoplasmic part. Okay, and this part is the uh, extracellular part. Okay, this is the extracellular part. Okay, this is the extracellular part. Okay, extracellular part. See, so phospholipid how asymmetrically distributed in cytoplasmic part. Okay, amine containing phospholipid are present majorly. Okay, here look at this, amine containing phospholipid are majorly present. Look at this. Okay, so these two are amine containing phospholipid. Okay, this is phosphatidylserine. Okay, this is phosphatidylserine. Okay, serine, and this is phosphatidyl ethanol amine. Okay, phosphatidyl ethanol amine. Okay, phosphatidyl ethanol amine. Okay, please note it down. And in that part, extracellular part, this is the majorly two component. Okay, this is the majorly two component. Okay, this is the majorly two component. Okay, what is this? Choline containing phospholipid. Okay, this is phosphatidylcholine. Okay, phosphatidylcholine, and this is sphingomyelin. Sphingomyelin. Okay, so this is the basic concept of the asymmetrical distribution, and this asymmetrical distribution is very important for the normal function of the plasma membrane. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture. Okay, we complete the total lipid portion of the plasma membrane. Now we should move towards the protein portion. Okay, protein portion, and from today from tomorrow we will start the protein portion of the plasma membrane. Till then, subscribe, share, and if you like the video, then please comment if you have any questions. Okay, till then, thank you.